Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and welcome to another technique that we do. We do 2 a week, so today is Thursday evening. So Thursday evening starting at 6 and Sunday afternoon starting at 2. And today we're going to do a really cool spinner card. And the original one that I did was made with this little backpack, and all you do is just wind it up. I didn't even wind it ahead of time. That's why mine, it looks kind of loose, I think, but you have to make sure that when you do this that you really get your string down. And then when they open up the pack, because you can see how mine is like really loose now, but even so, when you pick it up, it still spins. Cool, right? So I'm going to show you how to make that today. Not too difficult to put together. Just once you get it all put together, then it's super fun to decorate with whatever you guys have hanging around. So this is a live stream, so there's always a live chat that goes along with that. So I'm going to be saying hi to the community of people that come in and join us every week. And then let me just grab this one off the printer. This is the one that we're going to be working with today. This is Moony Monkey, and he's one of my digis. You can find him in the store. The backpack is also one of my digis. If you're looking for a back to school idea, those can be found in the Quality Craft store this can be found under the category called back to school. And Moony Monkey can be found under Cutie Critters. I'm just going to move this real quick because it looks funny. And I'm going to use this image today. One thing that you have to keep in mind if you're going to do this and you have an image on both sides so that when it spins you see the same image, is that you have to print it, put it in your software and flip it or mirror it. I use my Silhouette software. I know a lot of people don't have that kind of software, so you have to find a way to get that image to be mirrored on the other side so that you can sandwich it together and then it all comes together so that there's one on each side. If you stamp two exact, let's see, if we stamp two exact ones, if they're symmetrical, it'll work great. If they're not, then you might have an issue when you flip it over. So I think that's all I have to say about that. You need maybe a stamp set if you're going to do some stamping on yours. And then I just did a handwritten sentiment, so if you don't have one, you can just handwrite it. Hi Rita and Elisa and Sherry and Creative Tamara and Malia and Janet. Hi Sherry, Janine, Monica, Carol, and May. And Little Craft Creations. And Pam, hi. Hello to everybody who was able to make it. This is so cool. I started a little bit late. Well, I started exactly on time. I usually come in a little bit early. I've had 2 people already mention to me that the music in the beginning is way too loud. So the very last video that I did, I turned it down to like 1/5 the sound, and somebody said it was still blazing loud. So apparently my turning it down on the actual, what do I want to say it? The actual software that's playing the music. I mean, I didn't turn it down on my computer. Obviously, that wouldn't change it for you. I actually changed the volume in that software as it was playing, before it played actually, and it still came out super loud, someone said. So I opted this time, until I can figure something out, to just skip the music altogether and just start right at 6. I hope that works out for everybody. If not, do let me know. Hi, Dee. Glad you can make it. Thanks for coming, Penny. Hi, Diane. And Donna Joy from England. Awesome. So it does take people a few minutes to get in. So I always start at 5 minutes after the hour, which means it definitely gets your attention. But I only have 2 people that have said anything about it. But if 2 people have said something, that means probably you guys are all thinking the same thing. I'm going to have to look into that. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe just have to skip the music completely overall. So we'll see. It is 6:05, so I want to get started. I'm going to make one that's similar to this, only I'm going to use the circle template today. And like I said, I'm not going to use the back to school one, the backpack, but you certainly can. I'm going to use Moony Monkey instead. And then I don't know if I'll use the May Made It set, but if you're looking for the stars that were on here, they're on May Made It set called All Is Bright. It's a Christmas set. So if you're looking for that. And then I like this teal paper, so I'll probably pull out, maybe I will do stars on this one using May set, because I really do like the stars. So the first thing you want to do is get your cardstock. If you have an 8.5 by 11, you cut it in half. so that it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this one is just a side folding one. You can make it go up and down. It's up to you. I like the side folding, so I'm going to just try to put this circle in the middle. Just make sure that whatever image that you have is going to fit in the middle and spin and not touch that circle. So maybe make it, I could even go as small as that. Maybe I'll do a really small one. Okay, so I'm going to use this one because it's a lot smaller. And then I'm just going to line up and try to put this as close to the middle as I can by eyeballing it. If you want it to be exactly in the middle, you go ahead and measure. I'm not going to be that particular about mine, and I'm just going to put a light circle here in pencil that I can erase later if I want, because I need to cut that out. And eventually I'm going to cut this down too, but this is the first step. You're just going to put your circle, square, diamond, whatever kind of shape you want, draw that on, and then just start cutting around that circle or whatever shape that you've chosen. I got a little bit something stuck on there. And then just fussy cut that out. I was like starting to go in a circle until I hit the line so that it looks like I'd gotten to the line and cut it straight. And then just follow that line the best you can and take your time so that it turns out looking like a circle. If you've got a square or something that's got a little bit straighter lines, it'd probably be a little bit easier. So if you're just starting out, I would recommend doing something a little bit simpler like a square, but it's totally up to you. And we're going to do this one more time. So that looks pretty good. It's a little bit wonky at the top. I think I'll just cut a little bit more right off that edge. That looks good. All right, and then I've got a white. I very rarely ever use the erasers that come with a pencil because they tend to just make everything smear or rip or whatever. I use this white eraser. So always get a nice eraser if you're going to do a lot of this, just so you don't end up with a mess. And then we have to cut down the paper. Cut down this paper for how you want this to be on your card front. If you want it to go from edge to edge completely, then you're going to cut it at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I want mine to have a little white edge, so I'm going to cut mine at, I don't know if I want a full quarter off of that. So maybe instead of 5 1/2, I'm just going to cut out like maybe 1/8 of an inch down. And then instead of 4 1/4, I'll do like 4 and let's see, instead of 4 1/4, I'll do 4 1/8. Is that what it would be? I can't remember. I'm just taking 1/8 off instead of a 1/4 inch, if that makes sense. That's totally up to you. And then I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to double check that I have even space around the whole thing. I like the way that looks. So I'm going to take a little piece of washi. You don't have to do this step, but I like to because I don't want my sheet to roll around. I'm going to put this exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to tape it on the top. And I'm going to hang on to the whole thing and just hold on to that and flip it over. Now if you don't do that, it's going to wiggle waggle one way or the other, and then your hole won't be straight. Because this is the important part. You want this hole to line up. You could put down, glue this whole thing down, and cut through 2 layers if you want. Totally up to you. But if you've got 2 layers that you can't get through, or for whatever reason you don't want to do it that way, this is the next easiest way. So if I get done with this one early, I'll do one where we actually just glue it on, and then we'll just cut through 2 layers. So if they're thin enough, that would be an easy enough thing to do. I got a little bit of a paper tear there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think anyone's really going to notice it that much. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cut that out again right here. So if you guys are on my mailing list, the brand new Frightful Fall set that's come out, it's actually coming out tomorrow. But if you're on the mailing list, you would know that you get that a day early. Plus, you usually get a coupon code that goes with that. And I want to say usually because there might be sets where that doesn't get offered. But if you're looking for the best price on my digis that come out, the best price is always on the full bundle using the email code so that you get another discount off of that. So it ends up to be less than 50, you're paying less than 50% of the cost by doing it that way. You know what, I could probably flip that over. It might be a little bit off. Yeah, it's going to be off. I'm going to keep it this way so that I make sure that that whole hole gets covered by this. And then here's where we're going to, and I'm going to open this up so you can see what I'm doing. Here's where we're going to put the, oh no, duh, what am I talking about? We can't get the string in there if we glue this down first. My apologies, I don't know what I was saying. We're actually going to sandwich the string in between these two layers, which was why you don't glue it down in the first place. I'm feeling really off today. But we're going to make the best of it. We all have off days. So I'm going to put a string all the way across here, and you can make it a little bit longer. This is a gold string. I don't even know where I got it from, but obviously it was on clearance, and I don't know. You can use any string you have. You could even get into your husband's tackle box if he's a fisherman and use that fishing line that's clear. That would work too. You just don't want it super, super heavy. So basically what we're trying to do is get this string so that it's taut right in through here, right? So it's tight. And I like to use the sticky tape for that. So I'm going to use my double-sided sticky tape. I did a 2-inch circle. Somebody asked me how big my circle was. I did a 2-inch circle. And so I'm going to put some tape here. Now, if you have really super thin paper that goes over the top of this, you might see this tape underneath if you burnish over the top with anything but your finger. And if I tilt this in the light, you see those marks where the tape is? Most people wouldn't notice that, but crafters do. So don't burnish it too hard with like your bone folder or anything if you don't want those tape marks to show up if the paper that you're putting on top is going to be super thin. So as long as I've got the tape out, I'm just going to go ahead and go around the edges of this. So these right here going around the circle are going to hold down around this circle and as well hold down our string. But then we want the whole rest of this paper to be held down as well. So we're going to put tape around the edges. So the whole darn thing stays put. I think this is another one of those kind of cards that looks really hard to make, but it's not. And you could go ahead now before you put this all together and stamp and decorate this if you want to. I'm not gonna though. I'm just gonna put the whole thing together. I'm gonna peel these off and put my string on first. Most important part is getting the string on and getting it on so it's really taut. That is the hardest part in my opinion. I feel like no matter what I do, it still gets wobbly because it looks very taut at this point. It does, super taut. So I'm going to go over the top of this again. And pull on that and burnish this down with my fingernail to make sure that it stays in place. And then the same thing with this top one. Oh, I don't want that string coming out, so I put double tape on there. Okay. And then before we put this all together, go ahead and just cut. Mine is so thin. Just cut off the edges here. Now, if you want to cut this off a little bit further down and add more tape, you certainly can. Like, let's say I really want this to stay on there, so I'm going to tape the top too. This is not necessary, but you can. I'm going to try it because I want to see if that'll make the difference in holding my string where it should be. So I'm going to put another one on there. I'm going to stick it to it and pull it down. Make sure that it stays taut. That's my whole hope. So then we can take all the layers off of here. Yeah, so if you didn't get the latest email for the new release, you might want to hit up one of your buddies that did if you want that code. Okay, and then we're going to peel the liners off of this as well. Probably hear the traffic outside my window, but it's such a cool night. And Chuck's watching TV, so he's got the drapes pulled, so I'm not really getting any cool air in here. So I have the window wide open. It's not like where I used to be in the back bedroom where I could just shut everything and tune out the whole world. It's very different out here. I think I say that almost every time. I have to keep that in mind. So then the next thing you're going to do is put this down, minding your opening and where your paper is settling so that you've got white around the edge if that's what you chose to do. And then just push this down. Now if you have some white sticking out here, you need to cover that up. You can put decorations around the outside to cover that up if need be. No big deal. So now I have that, and that is pretty taut. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to cut out our images. And since I've got Moony Monkey here, I've got him, I'm going to slice him off of here. And like I said, I mirrored him on my Silhouette software so that he was backwards, so that when I put him together, he should look the same on both sides. I think what I'm going to do is this. I think this is what I did on my last one. First I cut out one image, and then I laid it on top of the other one. So I'm going to cut them out. And it's up to you how wide out you go. I could have chose to cut this right on my Silhouette, but I wanted to show the whole process in case you didn't have one. That, you can still cut this out totally by hand. And if you only have the ability, the capability to stamp one image and you can't do a mirror image, either look up mirror stamping on YouTube and find a person that knows how to do that. There are ways to do it. I just can't get into it tonight because it's not something that I do a lot of. But you could do that, or if you really only have one, is you could put one on one side and then paste like a little dot or a white circle that fills this part right here and just covers up the string, and you just have them on one side, no big deal. So now I have this guy. I'm going to want to put him on the other side, right? So let's see if we can cover him up completely. I'm just using the light shining through, and then I'm just going to cut around him again. Or I could trace this with a pencil. Let me trace it with a pencil. I'll show you. So if I trace it with a pencil, I'm going to get darn near the exact same. And then if I look through, let the light shine through, I don't know if it'll show for you. If you let the light shine through here, there's no way for me to get that to shine for you. I can see if I hold it up like this, when the light shines through, that monkey is within that line. So if I go ahead and just cut out this line, it should perfectly match the other one. That's the hope anyway, right? So let me know in the comments what images you guys are using to do your spinner card, because I would love to know. I know there are several of you guys that always do, hi Krissa, that always do follow along and try to do the project with us. Now if I put these guys together, they match. Okay, so one's going to go on one and one's going to go on the other side. So I think what I'm going to do is put a piece of sticky adhesive down the middle where that line should be going. that string is what I mean. And then on the other one I'm going to put, so let's see if we get this one. Let's go ahead and put this guy down. Just want to make sure that his ears clear the edges. Okay, put him down, flip him around. See, now my string is getting a little bit loose. That's the issue. I think just because my string is so darn skinny, so darn tiny. And I'm going to put glue around the rest of the stuff, not where the tape is. It's okay if your string is a little bit loose though, because it's gonna get tighter as you wind this guy up too. I should have maybe made my circle a teensy bit larger. Then I could have probably erased my pencil lines, but I don't think anyone but me is gonna notice that. So now he does spin. Looks like he may possibly hit the side just a teensy weensy bit. If so, I can probably always just trim down his ear a little bit on that one side. But I'm going to twist him up because I want to test this out. So there we go. And then when we open it up, he's going to spin. And he does hit a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is just trim off this side real quick. There we go. No problems. Just make sure you've got plenty of space in your circle for whatever image you're using. He's still going to work like that, so I'm going to leave him. And I'm going to get some of this trash off my desk. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp some. I think I will stick with the star idea just because I have them out and I really like these stars. I think they're pretty cool. And I'll show you a really cool trick if you don't already know this. If you want to make, like, let's say I wanted to stamp this with a darker color, but I didn't have a darker color of this paper, you can use Versamark ink. This is the regular Versamark ink. I don't know why I always pull out the Dazzle. The Dazzle doesn't really do much. So here's the Versamark ink. Clear ink pad. Even though mine is dirty from being used, it still works the same way. And if you stamp on the paper, it'll give it a two-tone look. So now it looks like I stamped this with a darker color, but I didn't. It's the same. It's just playing off of the paper. So I'm going to stamp a couple of these around in random order. It's going, some of them going off the page too, because that looks really cool, like you intended it to be that way. And then I'm going to go to the second smallest star and do a couple of them. And then I'm going to go to the smallest. Actually, there's like 4 or 5 different kinds, but I'm just picking like a large, a medium, and a small. And then stick some of these little babies in there. Super cute. I just love these stars. They're fabulous. So cute. Look at that. Really cute. So go ahead and put that one back. Wow, I'm having just a strange day, people. Strange day. It's Thursday, right? I'm on the right day because there's very few people coming in today. I thought maybe, am I on the wrong day? Is it Wednesday? I hope not. So that is really cute. You know what would really be fun? Is if I took my white gel pen to this. Where did that thing end up? And maybe just did like, just these small hearts. These small stars. Oh my gosh, too cute. So cute. Those really pop, don't they? That's really cute. Awesome. And so on the inside of the card, you can put whatever you want. I think that since we have a little strip of this left over, I'm going to go ahead and put some of that in there. You know why I feel like I'm having an off day? Because you guys wouldn't know it unless I told you. And since you're all my favorites because you're here watching tonight and you're part of my community, spinner cards are not my favorite. Oh, there, I said it. Oh my gosh, this between these and shaker cards, good lord. And then, you know, they're not that hard, but the fact that the string moves and that there's, you know, more points for error just kind of makes me crazy. So let's just put this little piece in here and let's do a few more stars on there because I think that would look really cute. And then we'll do like a sentiment on the inside here. See, I'm getting into it now. I like the decorating part. I just don't like the making of it part. Oh, some of you guys are like, yep, that's totally Jen. So I'm using the same ones, you know, large, medium, small. And this is a Christmas set, so I'm not going to be able to pull a sentiment from this set. I'm going to have to go and get another one. I had a couple of smaller ones there. Super cute. And I'll probably use white gel pen on there too, but I have to be very careful that that dries before we close that card. Or, well, this is all white, so maybe we won't even notice. That might not be an issue on this one. But if you have colored cardstock, if you didn't start with one, that could be an issue. Hey, Jason. So I'm just finishing up the inside of this card, but I'm probably going to make another one. What time is it? Oh, we have plenty of time to make another one. These are pretty easy to make. And that's for me, mostly for me, to pump me up, to get me excited to make another one. There we go. So we've got some little white stars in there, and I should find some kind of a sentiment to put in this, because that would be really cool. Let's see if I've got one on here. If I got one on here nearby. What's this one say? Enjoy it. Life is... How about life is possibilities, enjoy it. So let's do... We'll just pull these off. Life is possibilities, enjoy it. And I'm going to need another stamp, another block for this. So if we get this on here the way we want it, then we could just pick it up. That looks pretty good. Let's go with it. And then we'll do VersaFine for this. I don't know why I'm standing up. I do know why I'm standing up, because I'm getting sore of sitting. That's why. Life is possibilities. Enjoy it. And that way we'll not put anything on the outside. We can just leave him just like that. Super cute. Oh my gosh. I do say so myself. Moni Monkey is my favorite. So like a favorite. It would be helpful to use an embossing buddy over the VersaFine since it's sticky. I never do. You can if you want. I don't think there's any reason to it. Nothing happens to it. Got a little bit of dirt on there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and twist him up again. Hopefully I cut off. I think my string isn't quite in the center. If it had been, his little ear wouldn't be hitting. But if twist it up a bunch before you send it, and then send it in, you know, an envelope. Yeah, my string's not centered, that's why. So then when they open up the card like this, then your little guy just spins. Make sure you center yours or make your hole a little bit bigger, because mine's hitting just a little bit. My backpack one, I made the hole really big, and that's probably why my string is so loopy. But my backpack still spins. Ta-da! I really, really like this. This is really floating my boat. Let's make another one, even though I don't have anything prepped for another one. I can just go ahead and cut a card base, and seriously, like, I really thought this was going to take a lot longer. But I'll go through one more, because that helps people to see things twice over, and I'll go over how to put it together. So if any of you guys haven't seen my rock painting video, that's my rock that I did. That uses another one of my digi-stamps, the octopus from the See You Soon set. He turned out really cute. I just noticed him laying there all lonely on the table when I cut this card base down. Okay, so let's make this a little bit bigger. You know, while we're doing this, I could probably pull this up. I'll do another. I think I can get Mooney Monkey to print while we're sitting here. I'll just do another print of him while we're putting this together. I'll have plenty of time to print that way. Okay. Now, maybe this time we'll do a different circle. Let me move this stuff out of the way here. Should we do just a little bit wider of a circle? That might work. And then I'm going to use some of this washi tape because that kind of matches. Instead of a 2-inch circle, let's go 2.5. Just gotta turn this around. Now I eyeball this to make sure that my circle is centered, but you don't have to do that if you don't want. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make a light circle with my pencil. So for anyone that's coming in, okay, Heidi, have a good one. Anyone that's coming in now, I'll put out the little video about what we're doing here today. So we made our circle. Oh, you can hardly see that on there. Circle right there, and we're just going to go ahead and cut that with our scissors. Now, if you've got a program on your Silhouette or your Cricut or your Scan and Cut or whatever you have that'll cut these for you, that's awesome, but a lot of us don't have special tools like that, so that's why I do a lot of my tutorials by just using things that you have on hand. So we're going to go ahead and just cut the circle out. I believe Mooney Monkey beat me. He beat me out of the printer. I'm sorry if you guys didn't see that. I've been out of frame, out of aim. Ta-da! Looks good. Now I could go over that and erase the pencil line, but it's so light I'm not going to worry about it. I'll put it on the desk like this so you can see it really well. And let's do that same teal color because it will go really well with that washi tape, which is awesome. So we'll cut this down. I think what I did was I cut off 1/8 of an inch. So I did like 4 1/8 by like 5 and, instead of 5 1/2, I did like 5 3/8. That makes sense? I think so. Thank you, Heidi. So when I put this down, I'm going to have just a little bit of white around the edge, and that's what I wanted. You can go 1/4 inch off and make it 5 1/4 by 4 if you want, but I'm going to do that. And now, the first time what I did was I put washi tape on the side of this up on upper top to hold it so that it didn't swing around, because you really want to make sure this is exactly in position, otherwise it will not match up. I don't want to use that same washi again though, because that I tore my paper, so I know that one's going to stay put. This one is a little bit more forgiving, but just in case, I'm going to put it on my hand and pull off some of that sticky, and then we're going to put it on there, hold everything together, and then flip it over. And that's where we're going to draw the next circle so that we can cut that out. Oops. There we go. And then we know where to draw that, so we can take this part off. Okay. And cut out this circle so they match. I got a little crookedy right there. Really crookedy on that side. Oh, shoot the barn door. Let's cut a little bit off of there. There we go. I'm satisfied with that. Okay, let's match them up. Oh yes, that works. That works. As you can see. Ta-da. Awesome. Hi, Debbie. All right. So this is the part where we flip this over and we put the tape on here and on here so we can put our string in there. I wish I had a different string to show you guys with I wanted to do a bunch of cards and see what the variance in string was, but I literally could only find this string. So if you have a little bit thicker of a string than this, I would suggest using a little bit thicker of string so it stays put. Because that's the one part about this card that's kind of bugging me. So whatever kind of string you have, you're going to put it over the top like that. Try to get it to, you know, center as best you can, because like my Moody Monkey was hitting the edge because my string wasn't straight down the center. But since I printed him again and I made my hole bigger, he should be good to go this time around. So double-sided sticky tape is what I like to use. You can use whatever you guys like to use. And then we're just going to put this tape over the top of. I let the string stick to the tape first, and now I'm going to move the tape so that I put the string in the middle and push that down, even with my fingernail, make sure that stays in place. I don't know if the string is just literally stretching because it's that kind of string or what, but I feel like my string is not staying where it should. I feel like it's getting loose. I could double the string, but if that's the issue, then it would just pull out again anyways. And then you're going to see double the string. I don't know. You could try that at home if you have string. There, I've got it pulled really tight. I let it stick to the tape, and then I moved the tape down a little bit and stuck it onto the cardstock. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that again down here. There we go. See, look, yeah, it's because my string is super skinny and it's coming through that tape. That's pretty crazy. I put the tape down first last time. This time I put the tape right over the darn thing. Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. Good thing I didn't put my tape too high, because remember I have a white border. So you got to be really aware of where you're putting your tape as well. Anything that's underneath. So we'll go ahead, call that good. And then we'll put tape around our card topper here because we want that to stay put. And then we'll put the whole thing together. And like I said before, I believe you could just go ahead and stamp this layer right here right now, before you put it on your card, you can go ahead and stamp this and color it and do whatever you want before you put it down if you want, but I just prefer to put the whole darn thing together and then decorate it afterwards. So I'm going to take off all these, all these, what do you call them? I don't know, I can't remember. The stuff that goes over the top of the tape, the liners. And then we'll put this down as straight and as neatly as we can around that circle to make sure that it all comes together perfectly. Alrighty, I'm going to stand up for this just to make sure I get this in the right spot. I did mention that if your top paper is really thin and you burnish this with anything but your paper, like I did on this one, you can actually see the tape underneath that thin paper. So be careful what you're running over the top of this. Like if you take this and burnish this really hard, you will see the tape coming through if your paper is really thin. If you're doing like another cardstock, that might not be an issue, but if, you know, presentation and how this looks afterward is really important to you, keep that in mind. And then let's go ahead and cut these little guys out. Now, what if you really don't like fussy cutting and you really have to be careful? We could maybe use a punch and just do a circle. Let's try that. I'm not sure how big he is. How big was my circle? Was it 2.5? Yeah, 2.5. So I can do a 2-inch circle, I think. I got two. I got one regular 2-inch circle and one that's got stuff around it, but I have a feeling I'm not going to have enough room between these two monies to make this work. It's going to be really close. Let's give it a shot. The other thing is we're going to have to line these little button things up too. And make sure that one of them is facing up. I'm looking on both sides to see that they're facing the same direction. Can I move over one more? That looks pretty close, right? Alright. Let's go ahead, since we're not sure, and mark one of these. With a dot. Do you see that? So that we know to put dot, dot, and dot together. So we don't want to mess it up. If this goes right in the middle, we should be good to go. So I'm going to put him, hopefully he's facing up. Kitty hairs! Get out of here. Okay. Try to get him right in the middle, because otherwise he's going to hit the edge when he spins. And then that black dot is going to match up with that black dot. That should totally work. Okay, we're good to go. I've got mine all lined up. I'm going to go ahead and put my sticky tape right over the top of that string to hold it there. Hopefully that stays. And then I'm going to use my wet glue for the rest, like I did last time. So if you're new here, definitely afterwards join us at Quality Crafts on Facebook. I'm pretty sure that one of our lovely moderators has already put the link to that, but if not, they will again. when I'm done here, I go over there and I put up an album so that you guys can show us your makes and we can all share and inspire one another. And then if you want to... Oh, that was outside. I'm like, what is that noise? And then if you want to get into the private group, you can join me on patreon.com and pledge to support the passion on the channel here, which is reaching everyone from beginner all the way through advanced so that you guys feel success in your creations. And that's why I do easy to follow tutorials on purpose. So there's a method to my madness. Alright, I'm glad I used wet glue, so I had a moment to slide that in place. And there we go. We didn't even have to fussy cut him out. Let's go ahead and wind him up and make sure he works. Okay, so we send the card, they pull it out, and boom! Super cute! He is super cute. Look at him. So cute. Hold on. Look at him. Do I have the autofocus on? I thought I did. Let me double check. Maybe that's why you can't see him. No, it is on. There he is. It can be kind of fussy sometimes. Let's see if we can find a color that would kind of match this. Let's double check. That looks good. I'm just going to put some dots all the way around. I don't know if this will leak through to the other side or not. We'll have to double check. It might, because it's an alcohol marker. But that makes them stand out a little bit more. Let's double check the other side. Nope, it didn't, but I'm going to leave him. I'm going to leave him just like that. That is super cute. And then we can decorate it. Where is, yes, the washi. Put the washi across. Oops, not enough. Last time I used this washi, it ripped the paper. Oh, it came off that time. Which is cool, because I can replace it then. And then maybe one at the top here to pull that off. Oh, not quite enough. Trying to hit the same angle as that other piece. And then just burnish that on, because we don't want it to fall off. Super cute. So I didn't quite go off that edge, did I? That's alright. And we're just gonna cutting off the excess here. Whatever went over the edge. And then we could still stamp a sentiment on there, or we could put something over the top or something like that. Let's go ahead and open this up. What do we have left for this? Will this piece fit? Yeah, let's just put a piece of this on there. Since we're not, and then we'll grab a piece of this and just put it around the edge. All I did was just wrap it around there and then retape the edge so that we've got a little bit of that washi on the inside. And there we've got like a little insert that matches the outside. Let's go ahead and make a banner across here. We'll find something to stamp on there. I think that will look really super cute. So we'll probably be using our VersaFine for that, and we'll bring in a little bit of white. And maybe make it about like 3/4 of an inch wide or so, maybe not quite a full inch. then that'll go across here. So I'll go ahead and get that off and make a little, do I want a fishtail? Maybe I don't. Nope, I don't. I don't want a fishtail. I'm just going to leave it that way. And we need something to stamp on there. Let me just double check if there's anything right next to me. No sentiments on there. Oh, punch is falling. It's not a problem because somebody once told me from the group to have some sentiments on hand nearby, and look at all the sentiment stamps I have nearby. So this one is a thank you one. That'd be kind of cute. What else we got? Sending warm fuzzies. That'd be cute. How about thank you for your friendship? Oh, that's almost too long. Sending warm fuzzies would fit though. You guys want to vote? Do you want to do thinking of you or sending warm fuzzies? You guys let me know. Thinking of you. Should probably show you which one. I'm thinking like this one. Thinking of you or sending warm fuzzies. And I'll give you a second because there's a lag. I think you could separate baker's twine and use that for string. I think you might even be able to use baker's twine, but if you did that, you might have to pop up your top layer to make room for that, but you could hide it underneath and use that. Yes, I don't see why not. Okay, warm fuzzies it is. Sending you warm fuzzies. Ta-da! Looks awesome! I'm going to put that back right away because I have a tendency to lose stuff if I don't. Matter of fact, there's, nope, everything is in there. Every once in a while there's a set that doesn't have something on it. See, I forgot to put the other ones back too. These ones to that other set. While I'm waiting for that to dry a little bit, because I tend to smudge everything that I stamp with that, I'm just going to go ahead and put these away. So you will not find any of these stamp sets linked below because I grabbed these on the fly just from whatever was laying around my stash here. So just go ahead and use what you guys have laying around in your stash there. Make use of it. Pull out the stuff you haven't used in a while and make it work for you. So that's going to go like right there. Super cute. I've got some ink on the off the edges, so I'm just gonna pull on that, and it's gonna just come right off. I'm gonna double check that. I don't think I got the whole thing. I didn't. So I'm gonna do one more down this side. There we go. There we go, sending warm fuzzies. Now I could take that marker, that same marker that I used up here, and maybe make a little line around here. That'd be really cute. I got a little bit extra tape. All you have to do is just rub your finger over it and it just comes right off. So I'm not gonna use an actual I'm not going to use a straight edge. I'm just going to go ahead and draw this straight out. Looks a little bit more finished that way. I like it. It's very cool. Again, I didn't get it straight down the middle, but that's okay because he still spins really nicely in there. Look at that. So we are just finishing up here. We're almost done with our hour. And there's going to be some times during the school year, as we get into the school year and I go back to work next week, that we might not go a full hour. But just know that we'll always start at the same times. Thursdays will start at 6. And Sundays will start at 2. And Wednesdays, the 10-minute cards on Wednesdays, those will start at 5. And then the monthly challenge is over at the blog, jensqualitycrafts.blogspot.com, will continue on. Every month there's a blog and a new or different sponsor. And you have a chance to win some digi-stamps over there, so go ahead and do your makes and put them in. You don't have to have a blog to enter, so if you go over to Quality Crafts Facebook group, we'll show you how to enter without a blog. There's directions over there, and somebody will help you out to find those if you can't figure it out on your own. And then the new release is coming out tomorrow, The Frightful Fall. And there's some sneak peeks that went out in the group, so you want to look for those. And if you're an email participant, if you signed up for emails, and the only way to do that is to go on my store, just go to qualitycrafts.com, click on the store, and when that page shows up, there's a little black box for you to type in your email, and it says notify me. Click the notify me, and you'll get the emails. I only send out a couple a month. Maybe 2 or 3 a month, letting you know what's going on in the Quality Crafts community, what the new releases are and when they're coming out, and usually you get some kind of code to get the whole bundle for even less than 50%. So it's a way greater savings for you guys if you do it that way, and the only way you're going to get that code is to be on the email list, so please sign up for that. And where's the other one that we did? I did this one ahead. This is the one that we made together, and we made a very simple outside with some white gel pen stars, and we inked these in Versamark so that they would stand out on two-toned, as it's the same, looks like the same color, but really that is just a clear Versamark ink. And then on the inside we put Life is Possibilities, Enjoy It. And then we finished up with this one, Sending Warm Fuzzies, and we just put a little bit of a decoration on the inside so that it all matchy-matchies. Yeah, it is super cute. I really like the Moony Monkey. I hope you guys will go check him out. I'm always putting in new cutie critters every once in a while, so you just kind of have to join in the Facebook group so that you get the little sneak peeks. You know when they're going to be up for adoption, so you can grab those as they come available. There's no bundle for the cutie critters. You just got to grab them when they come up. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, I have an artist who does digis as well that I'm going to be debuting very, very soon here within the next week or so. Hopefully tomorrow if I can get down to the brass tacks of everything. And I hope that you guys will like her digis as well. They'll be located in the store under categories just like mine are. So hop on over to Patreon, check out the store. Definitely join in the Facebook group so you get notifications of everything going on in the community. That's Liney. He finally showed up to say hello to everyone. Say hello. Oh, hello? Hello? Good job. Okay. I can't wait to see you guys next video.